Hey, what is up people? This is Johnny and today we're going to be looking at some awesome Pokemon toys. Since the release of Pokemon, there have been several different Pokemon toys that have came out, some from the old one into new ones. So I'm going to be showing you some of the recent ones and some of the very old nostalgic Pokemon toys that have came out. Now the first toy that I'm going to show you is the Pokemon Clip and Carry Cross Belt. This looks freaking amazing. I would definitely want to have one of these when I was a kid. I don't know why they did not release something similar to this when I was a kid. And it looks amazing. This came out during the time of Pokemon X and Y. And it has the Pokeballs that you can buy, different ones in packages where they contain different action figures, small figures of different Pokemon. And as you can see, they bring a lot of them. You can buy them separately and keep on buying them. I believe they sell them solo, and they also sell the belts bundled with different Pokemons of your preference. This just looks amazing, and I mean, if I was a kid, I would definitely pretend to use this as a toy and play with every day because it's just freaking cool. And they bring the designs in the Pokeballs with different colors, like the Great Ball, the Ultra Ball, the Premier Balls, and the Master Balls. This is just freaking an amazing toy. This would definitely be a pretty cool toy for a collection. Now for the next Pokemon toy is the Pokedex. Now there's different Pokedex that have been released through different generations of Pokemon. But the one that I really liked the most as a child was the one that was developed by Tiger, and it's just an amazing Pokédex toy they had. And as a child, you would really want this in your Pokemon collection toys. Now it was basically a Pokédex where you type in the number, and I believe you could see the Pokemon that you want to see. And it was also a calculator, and you could do other stuff like write notes. It didn't really have any mini games, so it was kind of educational at the same time because it had that calculator in there. But I like the feel of this Pokemon toy. When you feel the texture of it on top of it, it feels really well quality built. It didn't feel like plastic. It felt like it was some pretty good material was used to make this toy. And it was just pretty awesome. It looked like the original one on the series and the anime. And it was just really awesome to hold in your hand. It was pretty cool. And everybody would want this toy. And I think I still have mine somewhere laying around. And if I could get another one, I would, because it would be awesome. Now the next Pokédex that I really did like was the Generation 3 Pokédex. Now this toy was pretty cool. It had a mini game in it that you could play as an adventure, and it was pretty awesome. It was a pretty cool Pokédex. I liked it a lot. Even though it felt a little less quality built, it was pretty cool. There was an adventure in it, and you could discover different Pokemon and stuff like that. It was pretty awesome. Now for the next Pokemon toys, I have to mention is the Pokemon Plush dolls. Now these were pretty awesome because they have been releasing a lot, and I believe they were really popular, especially the Pikachu one that came out during the 90s, which was electronic, where you can touch it and it'll start talking or saying Pikachu, something like that. And it was a must-have during its time as a toy, and it was pretty amazing. It was pretty cool. They had several different plushes. I believe it wasn't only Pikachu. They probably had Squirtle, Charizard, and more plushes. But they were pretty cool, and they're actually still developing plush dolls through this day. You can find almost every single Pokemon as a plush doll if you look for it, and it was a pretty cool thing to have. I know they're not the best toys, but they were pretty cool to have as a collection. Now for the next Pokemon toy, or the Pokemon action figures. The action figures are still coming out to this day, and they're really pretty cool. They have a lot of action figures that have been released throughout time. But one that really caught my interest when I was little was the 90s one, where they were these small action figures where if you look at the bottom of them, they had this place where you could stick a pencil to it. I don't know why they did that, even though they were not an eraser. They were just action figure toys that they had. They were pretty small and they were pretty cool. I think they released a couple of different action figures as well, not even the small ones. They also released a couple of bigger ones, which were pretty high quality actually. They had the Ash and Misty and Brock. I believe I had an Ash version of it, and it was still looking pretty good even though I mistreated it over the years. But they are amazing cool toys that had the action figures, are still being made to this day, and they keep coming out with them, and they're pretty cool. But those 90s ones were pretty darn weird and different. Now for the final Pokemon toy is the marble shooter that I would like to showcase. Now this was a pretty cool toy. It was awesome. Each marble had a Pokemon on it that you could see the picture of it, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty high quality. I think this was one of the high quality toys as well. And what I bought, like a Pokeball. It had a mat, and it had like this thing that went in front of it where you could put the marbles in it. And I believe you could also buy marbles separately. It was pretty cool. It was a Pokeball in there, but it was marbles with inside the Pokeball, and there was a button where you could press where it will rotate around and it will shoot a marble. So that was a pretty cool toy. You could buy the marble separately in different packs, and I've never seen actually another marble toy of it, but it was pretty cool to have because I don't know, I found that it was pretty awesome to have. I think they got discontinued later on, but if you had a collection of marbles of Pokemon, that was pretty cool to have. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave in the comment section what are your favorite Pokemon toys. Also, if you haven't checked out some of my previous videos, make sure to click on those two boxes in the middle to go ahead and watch them.